Hello to one and all, greetings in Jesus' name, and happy New Year's 2021 to all you beautiful souls. Okay, I wanted to make this video yesterday, as in all years night, but I was so tired. I really had to go and sleep early, wake up early before midnight. So I decided not to stress myself. I'll make it today, right? So, basically, this video is going to be about three specific things. Firstly, there's a testimony that I made in 2020. I supposed to do an update that I have not done quite a number of months now, and then there is a clarification for one of the testimonies I did before that, and then there's a testimony that I am going to give now based on some things that has been happening at least the last 6 months in 2020. So firstly, um concerning that testimony, that's for those who would have listened to it. There was a testimony I made sometime around, I think it was June 2020. I know that's long, but yeah. um I remember saying that I said I would make an update because that was a particular time when I said that God was a provider. I will link it in the clickable link for YouTube. Um and I would also link it in the description so when I share this video on Facebook. So yes, the update was about I supposed to receive some stuff. It was actually some finances. I said I would have received the upcoming week, and it did happen about the Tuesday of the upcoming week. I did receive the finances, and thank God for that. Um, Now the video that I made testimony about um it was basically when I was speaking about how I used to feel on my exams and do really badly in school and stuff. That video, I will also link that on top in the clickable and also in the description, right? um Once I realized, because I listened it and then I was going through my report book because I wanted to post a video to show like photos of the actual results and stuff. And when I was going through, one thing I realized that I actually made an error about was I said in the video that I would have, I think it was the last three um exams or end of term or something, I would have gotten first place. But it based on what I saw, it was not the last three. I did get first place, but I think it was the last particular one I ended up going back to the second place or something. So that's something I needed to clarify. I was an error on my part, I should have checked my report book first before I made the video. Um Also, another thing I need to do is actually apologize about, because I knew when I started to make videos like around in 2018, there were a lot of times I would promise that I would do certain videos, and then I was not doing it. Not because I didn't want to do it, but I didn't have the discipline to do it, right? I wasn't as disciplined as I am now, and of course there's room for improvement at this point in time still, right? So, and then right now I try more to go as the spirit lead. Sometimes God don't give me anything to minister on and so forth, but a lot of times he does, right? It's not saying that I will never do these things, but it's timing and all this kind of thing, right? But yes, I must apologize because I'm a person, right? I believe that if you make a promise, right, and you don't fulfill the promise, it's either two things. Because basically, come like you tell a lie when you do fulfill the promise. So it's either you're gonna confess about it, um or you're going to do it at some point in time, right? Right? Regardless of how late it is. That I doing it, are you going to apologize? And even if you do it late, it's still good to kind of apologize, because usually if you say doing something, people might expect that you do it soon. Yes. Okay, so now to the testimony. So one thing in particular I realized is that of all the ministries or gifts, well, however you want to refer to them that God has given to me, there's one of them I realized that, and I only realized that weekend gone, that the enemy, the forces, has been really, really, really fighting me. Consider. Um, so what happened was this, well, last year, 2020, can't remember when it started to be specific, but let's say sometime around mid 2020, I started to get pain in certain parts of my abdomen. I was like there for a while, you know, certain times it used to intensify. Then had times I was doing my dancing practice. That was for the same dance that I made well officially perform Sunday when I uploaded it. I remember August 2020. I had a deadline that dance should have been performed by the end of August 2020, right, Mountain? It happened that finances didn't come in time, right, because I was expecting a certain amount of money. And worse yet, even though the finances I was expecting was didn't come, I would have used some other finances, right? So I would not put finances as the major issue. But I remember when I was practicing, um, I had a week or two before mountain. That's when I get really, really sick. And that's after I actually made a video about that testimony. That probably was one of the last testimonies I gave for 2020. I will link that also, right? When I got sick and I was feeling so terrible, feeling faintish, feeling cold sweating, feel like if I want to pass out. It was happening for a few days. And the Sunday was the worst. I remember that I actually sent a video because I did it. I spent like almost 6 hours in parts during this Sunday praying and to God about it and this kind of way. And because of that, I actually took a week off from practicing all these things and I put off the dance, you know, because I couldn't really, you know, put stress on my body after that. I need to recover, right? And then I got good. And then after that, I did put another deadline. I told one of my friends about it that at the end of September 2020, I wanted to do the exams. Again, the finances, people that I supposed to get didn't come through. But when it was close to the end of the month, September 2020, I started to get back the pain in my abdomen. So, but it was while I was practicing is when I was getting it. So I realized I have to stop all the practice again because I couldn't I don't know what it was to be. I assumed that it was sitting. I'm not sure to be specific what it really was. Basically by the movements it was like causing it to pain more. So I had to stop dancing for a while, practicing. And then I put it off again. Now I can't remember if I put it off for August, not August, sorry, for October, end of October probably, but I'm sure I put it off to the end of November. Now, when November reached around 2020, some other things started happening to me. I got a really, really bad ear infection. I was getting severe headache. I had to go to the doctor. They had to flush out my ears. I was not hearing for a while. Well, not too good in that particular ears. I had to be treating 2 ears. It was, and then sometimes I was getting back this pain in my abdomen, and it was just so, 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 so uncomfortable. You know, but I could see for my own self that if Jesus was not God, if I was not serving Jesus, or if there was no God or no real God, I wouldn't be alive. You understand? I would not be alive because the kind of things. And once I got the, well, that was the first time I ever got an ear infection in my life, last year November, right? But the thing is, I was having some issues with my ears almost through the entire 2020. I never experienced nothing with my ears like that, you know. Um, and then end of November, I can't remember exactly. I think I remember what happened. I something with finances. I had other things to do. I didn't want to put God's stuff on because when you use your talent, it's for the honor and glory of God. But I can't remember exactly why I did not do the dance the end of November, but it get put off now to the end of December, which has now passed. That's right, 2020. However, last week Saturday, yes, actually before last week Saturday, week before the second to last week of December, I started back to feel weird, like funny, pain. They prayed for me in church. It went, but it's like this pain is like a going and coming, but it was not bad like how it was earlier on in the year. But it was, I was feeling it from time to time. And Saturday go on, the day before Sunday. Of course, I planned I needed to get this dance out and about before 2020 said goodbye. And you know what happened? Saturday, I was in the kitchen helping my sister and them with cooking. And I was standing up there, let's say about 15-20 minutes in the kitchen. I was actually standing up in the kitchen. All of a sudden, I started to feel like if I want to faint. And it's not to say I didn't have my breakfast. I had my breakfast, right? So then I sat down and was doing what I was doing in the kitchen while I was sitting down because I couldn't stop any longer. At a certain point, I drank some anointed oil from church. Was just believing God because I don't know what's going on, and I know I plan I need this dance to be done tomorrow, which would have been Sunday, that last Sunday there. And eventually as the day went on, I started to feel much better, I must say. Now in the evening, late evening, I was doing my second to last rehearsal before the actual dance on Sunday. And while I was doing the rehearsal, the first rehearsal I did, I was sweating. Of course, I was sweating as a dance, right? But it's like a heat just coming out while I sweating. I feel it making me feel real strange. But I didn't stop because of that. But I started to feel kind of like funny, sickish again. And after a while, certain things just started coming to my mind. I believe it was God because it started to come to my mind. It's like every time I put off this dance for a particular time for it to be done, something happens to me. And then my mind went back further to in 2016 I did one dance twice, right? 2 times I did the same dance, like performed the dance. The second time I did it, I remember it was on video. That's how I remember because sometimes I do check these videos and that's how I would remember certain things. Not everything I have to check for, but certain things. And when I looked at the video, I didn't look at the video this Saturday, but from some time I realized that after that dance I gave a testimony, and the testimony was considered I was feeling real sick the day before I supposed to do that dance this Sunday. So then I catch myself, I was like, wait. The last time I actually did a dance, or before I performed a dance in church, that happened. I mean, I did 2 dances or 2 new dances 2020, but the first one I did was during the COVID-19 shutdown, technical, whatever shutdown you want to call it, when I did home, right? But I didn't get no attack from that. But when last week on, before I perform in church, I got an attack, right? So when I realized, I was like, nah. Because not only that, because as I said before the end of August, I started feeling sick. I had to put off the dance. I couldn't practice for a while. Then before the end of September, when I put the deadline for it to be there, I started. What happened? That's when I started getting abdominal pains. Then November, I can't remember exactly what happened. The end of November, but I put it off, and then I was like, I'm not even putting this off. Because if I put it on, it would have been this Sunday coming now. But I was like, no, this dance has to be done. When I realized there's something wrong and this is some kind of evil attack against me dancing or whatever it is, I was like, no way. You know, I told my mother, I went upstairs, I told my mother about it, so I told someone else and so forth. I would have been prayed for. I also I started to feel good after the rehearsal last Saturday going. When I went to my bed and stuff, now I started to feel the abdominal pain. I was like, devil, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You know, sometimes it has come to a point where we ourselves need to use the authority and the power that Christ has given us through his blood, through his word, and through living a life pleasing unto God. Right? Because I could have allowed the devil to get the victory. Well, let me tell you something. Sunday morning when I woke up, I did my last rehearsal before I actually went to church and before me dance. And what happened was that morning, Sunday morning, I felt whatever I was feeling Saturday morning, that feeling like if I want to faint and kind of thing. I was feeling so good Sunday. That's the time that was an evil attack. That wasn't a natural thing. Because I didn't want my no doctor for anything. That was an evil attack. Right? I thank God for the victory and helping me come to the realization this thing is demonic. I need to fight this thing and do what I needed to do. Right? You know, it's good to have faith and we ought to have faith. But the Bible says faith without works is dead. Right? I could have just say I believe God would say and just sit down and do nothing. If you sit down and do nothing, nothing will get done. So even having faith and not having works, that way the Bible says is, I'll say it in my own words, having faith but not having works, doing those things necessary to cause that faith to become a reality. When you don't do nothing, basically considered as a dead person, right? A dead person that can't move on their own, right? Nothing ain't going to happen if you just have faith by how you do have works, right? So I hope that this testimony bless someone's heart. And whatever you may be going through hard times, sometimes you just need to rebuke the devil, tell the devil to back out without fear, without intimidation, because the enemy doesn't want us to reach wherever God has us to reach. But you have to stand up for yourself sometimes. You know, sometimes you also want to be dependent on God. Or sometimes you may not understand. But what I'm saying is that all you need to do once you are a God-fearing person of God and you really have faith in God is to rebuke Satan or whatever you're going through firmly, right? So you'll take care, and I hope and pray that you have a blessed, wonderful, successful 2021, a year better than 2020. So you all take care and be safe in Jesus' name.